Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is May 18th, 8:30 a.m. Or 5:30 a.m., depending on where you are in this beautiful state of our or in this world. All right, guys. So, welcome to the Morning Brew, Beyond Charts Morning Brew here, where we're going to be talking about price action levels, the news, what's going down. A lot of stuff's going down. Retail isn't just cutting it, so we're noticing. Just what I suspected I wrote this weekend, we're going to start seeing inflation peak its head in other areas of this country, and it's starting to show us in retail. We have Walmart announced yesterday, so this Target doesn't look like it's going to make the cut. So what's up, James? What's up, James? All right. I sent out two Patrons yesterday. One was for the XPX levels, the spies, and the other one was for just the support coffee group. And it's for everyone, actually. But stock plays, a couple of plays that I kind of did a deep dive, and I saw the opportunities, but none to the upside, all to the downside if you wanted to play that. All right, but let's go in today and just dive in. Retail's not doing really well. Yesterday, Powell came out and spoke, and I kind of reassessed the situation again. The market reacted positively, but nothing really has changed. If you really were to step back and take a bird's eye view, I didn't get to trade yesterday because I was with this little guy here. This is Blue, but he's doing much better now. He's happy. He's running around. He wasn't doing that yesterday, so anytime there's something like that. And even vets. Hey, what's up, Moses? Even vets are getting a little bit more pricier here in Miami too. But anyway, that was a trade. That was a scalp trade. His visit to the vet, but it's all good. He's happy. All right, guys. So let's dive in here. All right. So overall, I think that the market just wanted to go up for no apparent reason. But overall, so when we talked about this, I know Josh is on here, and we have some new students that are coming in. So basically, when I said I'm overall bear, meaning that we're still in a downtrend, but in these little swing trends, we're going to be bullish, right? So short term, we're going to be bull. It doesn't mean we're going to be bull for a very long time. It just means we're going to be bull until recently. We're noticing these swing patterns, and I'm just kind of want to share this with you. So again, we're going to be bear here, bull here, bear here, and bull here. What do you think is coming next? We're forming lower lows and lower highs along the way. This particular swing started, and if we coordinate with the MACDs, this swing, right? This is the swing, and it might come to the end here, and maybe we'll have a basing pattern, or does it continue, right? Does it continue? If it continues, then we're probably closer to the end of this long-lasting swing, unless it's a panic sell. If that's the case, then we're going to take advantage of that. So, but trading in the short-term range, you just got to know which part of the swing you're in. Especially when we start dissecting that in the 15-minute time frame. But overall, we've been bearish since back here, right? Right here, there was a fluttery of there was a possibility, but they just kind of consolidated sideways. And I think that this is what he meant by soft landing. And if that's his definition of soft landing, it's good. And then we have to interpret that to mean okay, this is his soft landing. It doesn't mean that the market's going to go up. It just means that the market's going to go down. And I think right here, we were bullish, right? And then basically they thought, wait a minute, for us to raise interest rates, we have to bring stocks down, right? So that's ultimately the verbiage when I look at the overall markets, that's what they're doing. They're bringing stocks down. They're just bringing them down. They have to. It just PE ratios are way too high, and they won't support the narrative of high interest rates or higher interest rates with supply chain issues, right, and low supplies. And now there's food shortages, outbreaks everywhere. So not just here in the U.S. that we're kind of maybe us. No. But if you start looking at the world news in Egypt and other places, they are starting to feel the effects of the grain issue with Ukraine and Russia. And there's some riots arising. So just something we have to keep aware of. Also, that Shanghai news in Taiwan. So I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but just want to kind of look at what could potentially put more strain on these markets. But anyway, that's what we're looking at. As far as the NASDAQ rally nicely and the Russell rally nicely off of this 1750 area that we talked about. But let's look at the XPX. Where the majority of our, us are we're trading XPX, XPY. So let's find out exactly where we are here. So now, also before we do that, let's do the VIX. Now the VIX, supported the rally. We had a low VIX the last 2 days. This was lower than the day before. We're at the lower range of 2 weeks ago, which is a big deal, and the upper range of the weeks prior to that, which we were kind of flirting with 25 and 18. And this is the area that we were kind of the lowest prior, right in here. So as far as the VIX and how can we measure that, it looks like it probably wants to rise up a little bit up here. So do we have the collapse day today on Wednesday, hump day? Possibly. So let's see if we rally up here, we can go. So we'll see. And this 10-year note is starting to rise. So again, if it gets 3.15, my alerts are there. And if I see the bear set up and I get an alert here, then I'm probably going to be really confident taking those bearish trades that we talked about on the Patreon. So hey, what's up, Aaron? How you doing? Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Brew. All right, so now let's go. So as far as the E-minis, we're at 40.55. So we did actually rallied. We rallied pretty nicely overnight into 40.99, 40.95, 4100 is where I suspected we're probably going to get some bears coming in that were there from before. So this is understanding order flow from prior weeks. If you have it, just go over those nodes because everything kind of ties into one another because we're hitting those levels again. So a lot of value area right at that 40.56 and that 40.80 right in there right now in the last 2 days. That's what we formed. We could maybe, as far as where can we go right now, 837. It looks like it's probably, we actually, I woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning. We rallied. So I saw this right here. And then I just went for a run. 6:30, we collapsed here. So, okay, that's fine. After we rallied and we kind of gave back all of yesterday's rally, right? But we're right back down to 40.53. Okay, so that's going to be the area right there, 40.53. Now, what happens here? Trying to rally is probably going to base here in this area for a little bit, but we went down 40 handles overnight. On the 50-minute time frame, again, that 4100, if we start looking at that 4100, that's where the bears came in. Exactly what I said right there. So the 50-minute time frame, the 50 supports it. We're now going to be consolidating sideways. We're probably coming to the end here. This should rally back up into the 40 running here. Again, we have about another 45 candles here, right? So we're probably going to consolidate here, and this should probably rally and maybe open around 40.60, 40.70. Let's see. I'll get back to this as soon as it probably has a little bit more here to go. On the hourly time frame, okay, we saw weakness here. So this is rally. This was from this morning, and let's see if it can hold that 40.50. If it doesn't, we're going to go back into this range. Again, 40.50, 40.30. That's where it kind of the bulls showed up yesterday. So let's see there. But if we break the 50 here, we start breaking the 50, we could start working our way lower and give back gains. The target news wasn't that good, but let's see how it reacts to that 40 right there, 40.50. It's getting close. 40.50, 40.30. Okay, watch that overnight. Not overnight, in the next 9:15. Start prepping your trades. If it goes at 40.50, let's start working at the. I do like those 420s up on top on SPYs. 425s, anywhere there. You got 421, 422, 420. You got only those, but any 420, 425, those are going to be around $1 to 50 cents, somewhere in there. If you want to come a little sooner, the 420s are probably going to print faster than the 425s. So FYI, and on the downside, 450, we're probably looking at the 380s, somewhere in there, 390s, maybe 380, 385. Maybe 375. I don't know, depending on the VIX. But any of those going to be around $1, 50 cents, and $1.50, somewhere in there. For not this Friday, but next Friday. Okay. and those will probably print. All right, so let's look at the SPY. SPY, the same type of thing. Just gave it back. We're probably coming to the end. You have here the first swing coming to the 50. You have the second swing off the 50. You could have an exhaustion sell and then probably come back up. But right now, there's a lot of the value area just shifted here. So between 405 and 404. 403 is where the buyers came in yesterday. Right around this 403 area. That's where the buyers came in. So again, we could be in this value area. Probably should come back here. I would love for it to come back to 430, maybe set up. And then that's going to 430. The MACDs on the hourlies, I don't like trading it when so if you're bullish and it's going to go up, I don't like having it on this side. So unless these start swinging and these lines start going above zero and this starts getting me a swing and getting a MA squeeze here, then that's going to solidify this probably turning. But if we do not get those, then we're probably going to go a little bit lower. But today should be a nice little day. Target is also helping out with that. As far as the XPX, if you true trade the XPX right now, even is at 40.52, so we're probably going to gap down, and it has probably a gap to fill. So 40.52 is going to put me at 40.62. Right here, so we're gonna, again, that 40.90 is gonna be pretty strong, and then we're gonna fall right back into these last week's range, right? So notice we have 2 days, we have 3 more days of last week's range, and where can we go? More likely, maybe 4,000, right? Or 406, 4,006, and do we break through? Maybe, or do we keep going? So, all right, so that's what we got there. As far as Bitcoin, again, Bitcoin is holding this pattern here, this line, 29,000. I wrote in my Patreon weekly that I think Bitcoin is not acting independent from the overall market. So until it does, then more than likely, I think that it's at the mercy of the S&P 500 and retail and Target and all of that. So, so basically right now, I just wrote that Bitcoin is probably going to be, again, could it rally? Didn't really rally much yesterday. And this is what I'm talking about. It wasn't really a rally. It just kind of squeezed. It could probably head lower, head lower. But again, I'm not trading Bitcoin, so that's why I don't cover it. But so as a trader, I will probably be looking at going lower. If you're an investor, does it really matter where you buy it? I mean, it's like if you like it. I mean, right now would be a good time to buy it instead of buying it up here, and then just put your orders down here. But where can it go? Yeah, there's a lot of people still buying it. There's a lot of people buying it in this area because they didn't want to buy it up here. Right now, Ethereum is holding pretty strong, so we'll see. If this starts turning and that starts turning, then that could rally. MicroStrategy struggling, man, struggling. All right, let's go to see what the overall market is doing. It looks like the drop in the SPY based on almost a no volume. What do you think? Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, no, absolutely, Grady. I think you have a point there. Let me get rid of myself. I always do that. Yeah, so let's look at the XPX. XPX needs to come back to the 50-day moving average if we were just to call it the 50-day moving 50-day method. So this is beyond charts 50-day trading method. Oh, he's going back to his house. All right, so here we go, guys. Google rallying. So here's the other part of the news. There are a lot of companies. This war in Ukraine is not over. It's not gonna be over anytime soon. So I think that when you start noticing companies like McDonald's, they're basically closing up shop in Russia, right? They're basically just saying forget it. You got Google just announced today that they're going to declare bankruptcy on a certain portion of their company that was in Russia. So you're starting to see this happening often, and this is kind of like the norm where companies are writing off Russia. So what does that tell us as investors? People who think, oh, this war is going to be over. They don't think the war is going to be over anytime soon. They're literally relinquishing all their assets, declaring bankruptcy in that country. So, these guys do heavy due diligence on their part, and so that's happening. So, with all of that being said, that's also putting some strain on the markets, right? On Bitcoin and all of that. So Google, it's affecting Google. Amazon, look, retail's not doing well. So Amazon's not going to do well when you got Target and Walmart all telling you pretty much the same thing. Walmart, I think, said yesterday that they expect this to continue to the next couple of quarters down the road. A couple, Target came out with the same kind of news already. So, and I'm going to cover that as far as, CMG. I mean, at some moment, CMG is just going to, we're going sideways. So this to me, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. There's no conviction buying here, right? There's a nice base. But are they taking it up to bring it back down? That's a possibility, right? Because how much more can you pay for a burrito bowl? So just ask yourself that. As far as the chips are having a hard time. If that war continues, remember that neon is a big component of chips. If they can't get that, and right now I think another month has passed, or 2 months have passed, so now they had a year supply. Now they are dwindling down to 9 to 8 months. So at some moment, that's going to be, affecting these guys as well. Netflix as well. So Netflix, they lost. Netflix kind of rallied, and I read it. They didn't lose revenue, but they lost their subscribers. But at some moment, that is going to affect their revenue. So, that was my argument. Maybe not now, but at some moment, I think, they have heavy competition. Then you ask, how long do you watch Netflix? Have I even gone into Netflix? Me, myself personally, I think I've gone there, and I didn't really see anything I liked, so I just kind of turned it off. Roku again. So remember, we're summer months. Nvidia, Mercado Libre, rally now. Apple. So here's the thing on Apple. We got to watch Apple. Apple below 144 at the XPX craters. Yesterday, the XPX was not going to crater over the last couple of days because Apple held at 144. Right, 144, we held it again, so it's not going to crater. But now, if Apple can come down to that 144, then you're looking at XPX hitting those lower ranges that we discussed. But if Apple goes above 150, then the market still wants to go a little higher. So let's see. Let me see. So let's do some deep dives on what's the overall market doing. Okay, so Target got killed. All right, so UPST was one that some of my friends it's giving it all back. This thing rallied nicely. It's a cheap stock. This one we've been talking about how this thing just sucked balls and just kind of went down. All right, so UPSD, these guys do secondary loans without like you can go. It's like they're the old Prosper company. But let me look at Target real quick. Let's look at Walmart, because I think we've got to look. And the next one that's probably going to be affected is probably going to be Costco. So this is Walmart, guys. This was what happened yesterday. Walmart just collapsed. They announced earnings. Yesterday. Try to gap up at the 50 in this rally. Now, if we were to take this, came down. It just broke down. Right, so open here and just broke down, and I think this is probably going to happen to Target today, this morning. So where Target opens, and I kind of wrote that, I said Target's earnings gets reported tomorrow. Very heavy put volume. I noticed stocks of the same industry do trade often together. I think if it gets to 222, and let's look at Target TGT, and let's look at Target. So Target right now. It is, it's at 162. So we're already, whoa, it got murdered. All right, so it's getting murdered right now. So, wow. Yeah, Target just got hammered. Pre-market 213, 162. All right, so if we start looking at it, it's starting to move here on the 1 hour time frame, 50-minute time frame, and 1 minute time frame. So 1 minute time frame. If you want to take this trade, let's see if this thing sells off, but we're too far away. Let's see if we can get a squeeze here, and then get a nice, maybe a bump up here a little bit to a certain extent, and then you can take trades here to the downside, 170. But I think this one is probably going to go lower, right? Also, doesn't help that California allowed people to go into their stores in New York too, to just kind of take $800 worth of supplies. I'm sure at some moment that's going to come and hurt them. But Target right here, guys, it's one right here. But if it's already kind of hit my targets here, no pun intended. The other one that's going to get affected, guys, is going to be Costco, right? At some moment, Costco is already starting to be affected. You know, these guys haven't announced earnings, so anything retail related is going to feel the pinch. You know, and they come earnings coming up pretty soon. That was March, so I have April, May, June. So in June, so these guys are going to be affected. We're at the bottom range. Again, so anything retail related will be affected, as well as Amazon. So just FYI, they're already starting to show, but Costco might prop up. Ends at 462. This is what's gonna hurt Amazon, guys. Amazon is not gonna do well based on these numbers, and this is what's dragging Amazon down. So, and this could put an overall effect on a strain on the markets. All right, so that's what we have there. I think the China stocks, JD and BABA are on the same boat. But let's go back into the SPY here, because this is what we're going to be trading today. Again, so nothing really has changed. We're working our way lower here. We're at 404, which is probably going to put us right at this 403. Remember, 403 was a big number that it's right in here that we came up. Remember, we're forming higher boxes. Can we break that 401? Do we consolidate here for a little bit and then break down Thursday, Friday? Don't know, but let's see. Or do we break down and people get spooked? Right now, 404, we're still going to be working our way down. Let it take it down. We have about another 40 candles. That's fine. Let it come down and see if we can get a squeeze and what happens here. So if you guys have puts, I know I spoke to a couple of you guys. Moses, I know you have puts. A great call. Those should be printing. So again, just want to have, it was very, very choppy week seesaw. So remember, we talked about that this week about locking in, just hedging, scalping, just making sure you know the ranges. If you're going to be scalping, you want to be scalping at the upper range if you're going short, and obviously scalping being on the bottom range if you're going long. All right, so right now, spiders probably needs to probably come down to this 403, and let's see what happens. MACDs don't look good here, and it's still consolidating. Broke the 50, so that was the entry in the morning. Excuse me. Old moving averages starting to squeeze. Excuse me. How long does this last? Don't know, but let's see. All right, 852. Let's look at QQQs. Q's about to break, broke right now, and broke. So Q's are going to be feeling the effects of it. So watch Apple. If Apple breaks above 144, that's just going to exaggerate the move down. And we can probably lock in some put gains for those. All right. Right now it just started. So I think it's reacting on those target numbers. IWM. Same type of thing. IWM. The thing about IWM, which is a Russell, you have to understand this was so it kind of hit this area here, 170, 175, and this is a pretty solid area, right here. If it breaks that, then we're probably gonna head lower to 146. But anyway, so let's see what happens. Let's see how the market reacts. Do the bulls come back up and prop it? Do we have any Fed governors talking today? I think there's one. But overall, that's where we are at right now. So as far as my prep for today, what I'm looking at, we're heading lower, right? We're heading lower. So numbers came out 4,100. It just kind of bears came back. They're back in control. Where are the bulls going to come in today? We're at 40. We're right there. 40.50 is not holding. Let's see if 40.30 can hold. And when I'm about 4.30, it was right in here, right there. So I'm going to put this alert at 40.30. Let's see what happens there. Does it consolidate there? Does it go down? And then I'll make a decision based on that. I'll be looking at the moving averages, right? The squeezes. This already started, so that was the time to get in. It was 8:36. This should last about. They usually last about 45 minutes to 90 minutes. Considering this already started, probably 45 minutes. So 8:36 is going to put us right at the bell, and let's see what happens there. All right. that's all we got, guys. That's all we got. If you want me to look at anything, let me know. Write it in the comments, and I'll take a look real quick. But right now, this is all we have. And again, I kind of already told you what puts I'm looking at. All right, it is 8:55. Nice, short and sweet. All right, guys. If you're watching this later, all right, cool. If you haven't, let me see. All right, I'm gonna say goodbye. I was gonna say press like, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys in the chat. Let's go get it. I already told you what I'm looking at. Probably if we start breaking down here, break zero. That could be a move for the day. That we have a trending day. Maybe go back down to these ranges here. That is a possibility. Might be a good opportunity. All right, guys, that's what we're looking at. I'll let you know in the chat. We're looking at the 380s, 390 puts for not this week, next week. If you want to add a week, go ahead. Friday, remember, Friday expiration. They're all going to be Fridays. Maybe somewhere between, you to spend about 50 cents to $1.50. Don't spend any more than that. Remember, just in case you need to hedge, you go the other way. And all right, go out there, go get it, and stay green, guys. I'll see you guys in the chat. Bye-bye.